All right, hello everybody. Let's get this party started. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, just listening back to myself, the audio sounds fine. If it's not fine, please let me know and I'll adjust. All right, so the way today's going to work, there's a bit of outstanding work there in Narwhals, which we need to review. Going to take a look at that, otherwise can take forwards some new work. Right, let's start at the beginning. What open pull requests or issues do we have that we need to take a look at? And let's try to somewhat prioritize these. We've got an issue about string pad start and pad end, which should be a good one, but there's not been any PR yet. If anyone wants a good first issue, that might not be a too bad one. All right, we've got this one about the decimal data type. I need to look into some things from polars before that one. Need to finally sort out the pre-commit auto-update because this hasn't been running in some time. We've got this draft, but I think this was quite far from being ready, so maybe it's okay to close it as stale. Okay, this one's still in draft. I need to, need to revive this one at some point. Oh, right, this is eager allowed. Need to take a look at that one. Need to revisit this separator argument. Yeah, oh, it's clear as well. Int range, I think I had some sticking point. I think there was something I didn't like. Yeah, let's take a look and find out. So, okay, so is this all to do with concatenation? Yeah, in the end, D types are the things that probably deliver most value to Narwhals users. So this seems quite valuable to look at. Let's see what else we've got. The decimal one. Oh, right, Dan responded to my issue, to my comment. There was nothing conclusive there, but the PR that closed it has a summary that's more digestible. Right, so precision is here to stay. The behavior does change between backends, and we can't possibly hope to align it. Do all of our other current data types, decimal data types, have precision? If so, then I think it seems fine to align. Okay, this one seems quite valuable and seems feasible to do. Yeah, this we need to address at some point. Pre-commit update, it's just stuck, not updated. Concat list, there's been no activity since November. Yeah, I think this has gone stale, unfortunately. So let's politely thank them and close it. So thanks, Flo, for your PR. It looks like this is no longer active, so I'll close this for now. Anyone is, yeah, feel free to ping if you'd like to continue it. To be fair, there's a few other opened ones which we should probably close as well. Anyway, int range. What was my? Oh, yeah, lots of conflicts. Where I thought I'd commented about this related issue. Here it is. Right, yeah, I was still more keen on having row index than int range, which we wouldn't be able. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I still feel uneasy about this int range feature. It doesn't really seem like something particularly important to support. I think we had some issues about it. Let's see. Support int range, eager only. Yeah, here. Maybe let's comment about this here. So, to make this eager only, could we consider deviating from polars and having series dot from having something like series dot from int range? I'm still not sure. I'm still fairly negative on having this in the lazy case. Yeah, on having this in the lazy case and it being an expression implies that it will be available in the lazy case too. Okay. Then dtype.call. I would like to get back to the separator as well. Let's just open that in a tab. Presumably within 2 hours we should be able to get to that. So of these, maybe let's start with decimal. Let's just check that everyone actually supports this. So in pandas, yeah, we need to do this regex parsing, but it seems simple enough. I mean, these are just numbers. It's a simple enough pattern. I like this verbose regex. That makes it quite readable. Nice. Oh, nice. Why did we have decimal here in unsupported types anyway? Oh, because we couldn't convert to decimal, but presumably now we can. Oh, because here we've got... Oh, right, yes. So in pandas, is decimal only supported as a PyArrow type? I thought there was a NumPy one. But yeah, presumably I'm wrong. If we search for decimal here, no, we don't find anything. So what if we go into the API reference and go into types? Okay, here we are. Yeah, there's no decimal type. It's just the PyArrow one. Okay. Well, that's pretty nice. Okay, yeah, I'm suitably convinced that this is fine. Nice. And then similar change in the PyArrow side. Oh, sorry, here is polars. Yeah, similar change there, seems fine. Similar change everywhere. Everyone's got this precision and scale. The difference is just in how they handle some arithmetic operations. This is kind of interesting. Scale or 0. Let's try to go through just some little examples of the decimal type, just to make sense of it. Right. I don't have IPython. It's unusual. So first of all, let's start with duckdb. So suppose we have some relation like duckdb.sql, and then we'll say select all from values 1.3 1.4. Let's make 2 columns. So 1.3, 1.4, dfab. And then let's say duckdb.sql, select a, b, and then a times b from L. Yeah, so the way these get multiplied, so the scale is the maximum number of decimal points that it can hold. So here it's just got a single decimal point. And the moment you multiply these two, the result has got 2 decimal points. So the scale looks like it's the sum of the original ones. So if we add an extra decimal point here, presumably the result has got 3. Has it got a scale of 3? Yeah. So we've got 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay. In polars, however, it's a bit different. And let's take a look at why. So in polars, we can then do like with columns, and let's say C equals PL_col A times PL.col B. And now the scale has stayed the same as the maximum one, and we just got it truncated. So this is a behavior difference between them, but they still both have their scale and precision parameters. I think this is probably fine. I don't see any issue. Yeah, there's going to be slight behavior issues. Arguably the Polus one is more in line with what's useful to people. I think the issue with the DuckDB one is that you're just not able to multiply numbers with a lot of decimal points. So just to show an example of that, if you have something like this, so both columns have got 18 digits, you multiply them and you get the decimal with 36 scale. So if you just multiply again, let's say A times B, then I think it just won't let you. It'll have some overflow error. Yeah, out of range error. The issue with the SQL definition of decimals is that as the precision keeps increasing, as the scale keeps increasing as you multiply them, you can only multiply them so many times before you get an out of range exception, which isn't. I don't know how useful this is, to be honest. Polars discards a bit of accuracy, but it preserves the scale, and it means you can keep on multiplying as long as you need to. Arguably, both have their pros and cons. Anyway, that's not something that we can rely in Narwhals. This is interesting. So in DuckDB, the default is 0. Really? Why? Sorry, IBIS framework. The default decimal scale is 0. Do we have a way to verify this? IBIS decimal. How do we make a decimal? IBIS.types. How did Francesco do it? IBIS_types. Oh, what's going on here? What? Here it is, terminal. Okay, here it is. Yeah, so if we just make a decimal without anything, scale is just none. Is it 0? Maybe I'll just ask Francesco a question about like where does this come from? So first of all, this arrow Yeah, this arrow is fine. DuckDB is fine and nice. Yeah, just curious about where does the 0 come from? Yeah, how did he find it? Yeah, the rest looks fine. Spark. Yeah. So we're keeping Polar's default. Yeah, we're keeping Polar's default precision. Does the scale also default to 0 in Polar's? Let's see. So if we have like series 1, and then what is it, cast pl.decimal. Yeah. And if we have anything after the... Yeah, okay, sure. Suitably convinced that in Polus the default is indeed 0. Presumably it's the same in Ibis then. Yeah, it's fine. Don't need to bother Francesco with this comment. I think precision has to do with a maximum value that it can hold. Why not? Yeah, why not int equals 38? Yeah, not sure what I'm missing. Not sure what I'm missing, but why not precision int equals 38? The rest looks absolutely fine. Okay, nice. He's added a nice test. I think we can approve this. I've just got a question. So let's go ahead and approve. And let's give him a nice GIF. I used to have an automation to give people GIFs, but that seems to have broken in the GitHub UI update. So we don't have that. Yeah, let's give this one. Okay, time for a break. Okay then, let's get back to this. Is this still going? Okay. Well, we just did a review which involved a bit of focus, so let's do an easy one, which is probably going to be this pre-commit auto-update one. So, let's fetch upstream. And we're going to check out to this, what's it called? Pre-commit auto-update branch. So git checkout. Yeah, this one here. And let's start by just resetting hard to upstream pre-commit auto-update. Let's reset hard to upstream main, and then let's do pre-commit. I think it. What is it? Pre-commit update, auto-update. That's it. Yeah, the clue was in the PR title. All right, so it's all up to date, and it's updated this typos one, which I'm not sure if it's correct. Let's see. So GitHub typos. Is there a way to exclude this one from? Yeah, so their most recent one is 1.42.0. Is there a way to just? But for some reason, auto update thinks that v1 comes after that, and has anyone made an issue about this already? Well, I guess we can upvote this. Okay, well, was there any resolution here? Okay, looks like there's a mirror which we could actually works, yeah. Okay, well, let's just use the mirror. Yeah, okay, it just all happens automatically, no big deal. Yeah, let's just use this. Let's see if now the auto update actually brings us to the correct one. Yeah, okay, nice. While we're here, I guess this rough issue hasn't been addressed yet. Well, at some point that might happen, but for now, we're stuck with this. All right, yeah. So use typos mirror. Do we want to add a link? Yeah, good to have a... So use mirror to avoid auto update issue. So add comment. And then let's push. Okay, cool. Looks like we can then finally resolve this auto update issue, which has been stuck for quite a while now. So we're just going forwards a few versions in rough, a few versions in typos, and nothing more interesting than that. Okay, so got a descriptor. I think I might just leave them to... What? Yeah, I might just let them battle this out a little bit longer. Yeah, not sure I like this. Okay. Oh, nice. This at least passes the pre-commit, and the rest should all be unrelated. So I'll just check that there's no new CI issues coming through, and then I think we can ship it. Then I wanted to revisit this separator one. Yeah, I'm still fairly... I think I'm still fairly positive on just using this as is. Let's see if we can resolve the merge conflicts and take this forwards, presumably, if they're not too complicated. Oh, is that the only conflict we have? Oh, and I did not realize that there was this option now in the GitHub UI, accept current change, incoming change, and both changes. I was always just manually deleting lines. Oh, Cam in the chat, no love for the descriptor I wrote in call. I still need to understand what a descriptor is, to be honest. By the way, does Polus have anything like this? So, like, you've got this class variable. Yeah, that was back in the call PR bottommost comment. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this does. Yeah. I think I prefer this. Yeah, maybe let's comment that. Yeah, thanks, Cam. Yeah, I think I prefer that too. Right, so here we want to do the skips, and then we're going to have to do from PyArrow import CSV. Well, oh, because now we've got this CSV.parse options. Yeah. So let's just paste that here, and then we accept the incoming change. I'd like to think that this is a correct resolution of the conflicts. No matter how long I program for, resolving merge conflicts is always a bit scary. I'm not sure if Polus has something like this. It likely does, since it has the same ambiguous D-type system. Well, I think in Polus there's this is instance or subclass helper that's used pretty much throughout. So I don't know that they've got anything that goes around that. Need to remember this comment. So SEP has higher precedence than delim. Yeah, I think Dan was keen to avoid the using is instance or subclass a lot of times, which I don't know. Oh, only 2 failing. I thought we had 3 failing recently. Maybe one has fixed itself. Marima, maybe. Oh, that's encouraging. Cool. Finally, we can ship this pre-commit auto update. And let's add the internal label. So, okay, DuckDB and PySpark both have 2 ways of passing the separator. And in their case, one of them has higher precedence. Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, so Dan wants to define some precedence rules. The precedence only if the yeah. In this case, the precedence is conditional on whether you pass the default value or not. Right, yeah. So thinking about this again. On precedence being value dependent, i.e. based on whether some default is matched or not. I'm fairly confident that this won't break anyone's code and that it offers the least surprising behavior. Yeah, I think we can ship it. I'll just add that to my to-do list. I'll come back to it in a couple of days. The other thing we need to do is probably to update Narwhals in, what's it called, Pyodide. Maybe that's something we can do here on stream. So yeah, just got a few minutes left in this session. So let's see, anything else open that we should be taking a look at? Anything that's not draft? Oh yeah, there's this clear, which I got tagged in a few times. Whoops. I think I had, can't remember. Yeah, okay, yeah. I think, yeah, okay, I remember now. There was some. It felt a bit strange to me what great tables are doing anyway. That they do row-wise logic. That like that they instantiate an empty data frame and then gradually add elements to it. I'm not sure if that's the kind of thing we want to encourage in the first place. Yeah, I kind of feel like we need to be somewhat mindful about what we add and what we don't. Okay, well, I'm pleasantly surprised that the tests still pass here. I would have thought that there would be something fairly outdated that would mean that they wouldn't. I guess one thing that we do need to verify before merging is, oh yeah, for DuckDB we're checking both delimiter and delim. There should be sep though as well, right? So alias for delim, is there sep as well? Alias. So sep is an alias for delim. And then delimiter. Oh, okay. Delimiter is also an alias for delim. I mean, how many of these do we have? Yeah, just these two. In light of discussion, we also need to check against sep here. Maybe validate separator should take a tuple of native delimiters. And then in PySpark, there's already sep and delimiter. Do they also have delim? Oh yeah, it's just sep and delimiter. I don't think delim exists. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just a small comment, and then I think hopefully we can actually get this in. Let's just double check something in the test again. I want to check that we're not accidentally parameterizing over too many constructors. Oh, it's okay. We're just parameterizing over this CSV source. Yeah, okay. So that's 3. I guess it's fine. This essentially means that we can only test this one if we've got all of those backends installed. Which I guess is fine, but I don't think we need to run this one 3 times. Yeah. Put down on test times. Shall we just use a single CSV path here rather than looping over CSV path? CSV path is already checked in other tests anyway. Okay, let's take a break, then we can do the pyodide. Okay, let's get back to this. Final little session that I'm gonna have to prepare for a call later. So I'll cut this off at, yeah, just at the end of this session. So we're going to take a look at Pyodide. And whenever I feel like it, which I think is once a month or so, I've been making a PR to Pyodide to upgrade the Narwhals version. So let's just take a look at what that looks like. So we go to this repository, Pyodide recipes. We used to have to do it from the Pyodide repo, which was fairly... It wasn't super easy. You had to follow all of these complicated instructions and use Docker. But just the part of making a recipe, they seem to have abstracted that out to a separate repo, so now it's a lot easier. And because I can never remember what to do, I'm just going to make some instructions for my future self. So touch instructions.md. Let's see. So I'm going to start off by checking out to bump Narwhals January 2026. Let's fetch upstream and let's reset hard to it. Okay, we reset hard to upstream main. And then we're going to do... We have to do something slightly different to what was in the README. I think they didn't... Maybe we should actually make a... Wait, does this one have submodules? Really? Didn't think it did. Yeah, well, whatever. So Pyodide skeleton, PyPI narwhals update, something like this. Yeah, it's just dash update. Cool. Let's make a commit. We should probably make a PR to add this to the README, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try to be good citizens. So let's see. So bump narwhals from 2.13 to 2.15. Let's send them a PR. From what I remember, there's no need to update anything else. You don't have to... There's no what's new notes. There's nothing fancy to do. Nice, easy. Okay. Cool, so we've done that. And while we're here, let's make a PR to the README, which is fairly... It doesn't... I don't think it's got as much information as it should have. Yeah, we need a section for updating a package. So check out read me updating package. We've got the adding a new package recipe part. That's good, but we also need the updating a package part. Updating an existing package. So yeah, maybe let's say, so assuming you've already followed the setup instructions above, just run. I think that's all we ran, right? Yeah, PyArrow died, skeleton PyPI narwhals -- update. Cool. Document how to update existing package. Okay, yeah, nice. Let's push. Hope this can save someone else a little bit of time. Okay, nice. Yeah, I think that's all I've got time for today. I should probably... what was the issue here with clone? Let's take a quick look at this. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's maybe not worry about it. Okay, what are we doing then? Yeah, I think that's all we've got time for today. Thanks, Cam, for joining, and anyone else who might have tuned in. Have a good one. The next one will be in a... I can't think of any reason why it wouldn't be in a couple of weeks' time. Cool. Good one. Ciao.